Everyone, this is Jill from the North Woods. Well, we had a good week. I lost 1.7 pounds, and for the second time in my adult life, I am in Wonderland. Hit it just this morning, and that feels pretty great. I am excited. I think that having a drug that allowed me to get into this position when I've never been able to do it before, I don't even know what to say about it. It is really something. It has just been my goal my whole life, something that I couldn't attain no matter how many productivity tips I threw at it and challenges and ways to get it. I just could not get this. And now I am getting this. And I have my doctor's appointment, which is a follow-up from being assigned on this drug. And I've been running stats all day long to show my doctor. I used to have sleep breathing problems. You could see it in this chart. And it was in the yellow, it was sometimes in the red. And now I'm not having any problems at all. I'm losing inches everywhere now. Before, when I lost weight naturally, I was losing it all the way off my top, basically, until I was totally skinny up here. And then I started losing it off the bottom half. And now it seems to be coming off more evenly. And I wonder if that's not a side effect of the medication. So I got a question this week, and I would love to get your questions. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or how I'm tackling things or anything like that, I'd love to hear from you. And I'd love to hear your tips about what you're doing to tackle some of these issues. But essentially the question is what am I eating? And my stats are that I try to get initially 1,200 calories a day. And I'm going to talk about my calories here at the very end and what I've decided to do a little bit differently. And so what I try to do is get 80 grams of protein, 25 grams of fiber. So protein is 4 calories per gram of protein. All carbs are about 4 calories per gram of carb. And then fiber itself is around 2, but carbs are always a mix of that. And fats are 9 calories per gram of fat, which is why whenever you go on a diet, they try to get you to cut back on the fats because they rack up easily. If you get 10 grams of fat, suddenly it's 90 calories, while my carb and my protein adds up to about a whole 290 calories. I try to keep carbs under 100 grams every day, which I do pretty successfully at about 60 to 80 grams of just pure carbs every day. And the total sugar is always meant to be under 25 grams. It is just a carb like everything else, but it's very dense as well. It's small crystals pack in pretty easily. And so it's easy with sugar to ramp up in calories quite quickly. So that's where I keep my calories at and how I try to balance it out. So for breakfast, because I was diabetic, I found that I had what was called dawn syndrome, which means your sugar spikes while you're sleeping overnight and it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And so when I was working with my doctor before, I was told to have like a bedtime snack, and that didn't really help much. But what did help is instantaneously, the moment I got up, having protein, something big protein and very few carbs. And so I got into, strangely enough, eating either the Bear or the Kirkland chicken nuggets. Not too many carbs, but just a smidge. And I have about 5 ounces of that for breakfast every day. And the reason I went with that is because I found that sometimes when I ate certain things for breakfast, it didn't hold for me. I would get hungry before Moujaro very quickly, but I found that the Bear or Kirkland chicken nuggets held me for a really long time, and so I stuck with it. That, or I have 2 eggs in scrambled usually, but I did buy one of those Dash. Dash is a brand of, they make little appliances like little waffle makers, and this thing is an egg bite or an egg patty maker. And what you do is you scramble basically egg material. You might throw in, and this is what I do, turkey or chicken sausage all crumbled up in it, and then it poaches them into little patties, a little bit like what Starbucks and some other places have and charge a lot of money for. You can make them yourself. These come out great. You can even put vegetables and spices in them, but sometimes I do that. They're a great way that you can make them ahead and actually microwave them at breakfast time when you're looking to eat. I am not much of a morning person, so having food that I can quickly get together for breakfast is really helpful to me. For lunch, I typically have either cottage cheese or Greek yogurt. I try to stay away from the yogurt just because it tend to have a little bit more sugar than cottage cheese. And cottage cheese has such amazing stats to it. You just can't beat it. So I try to have a cup of cottage cheese with lunch, and maybe one of those bags of Skinny Pop popcorn gives you a little extra fiber in it. It's very bland eating, but I think when I'm on Moujaro, it helps me digest it because it is so bland. But sometimes I get bored, and so I'll have avocado toast. At Costco, they have these little cups of what they call avocado smash. So it's just smashed up avocado with a little salt and pepper. Comes in at 100 calories, and it's tasty. So I just kind of spread that on toast. Can you tell that I worked in California as a contractor for a few years? But I walked away really liking avocado toast as a fairly decent lunch. Or maybe I'll have some leftover protein that I had for a meal the night before, if I cooked a chicken or if I cooked pork chops. Or maybe I'll cook eggs again. So eggs sort of come back as what my go-to when I'm looking for something to eat. That's what I try to eat. For dinner, I end up trying to just fix whatever I did wrong with my day. If I didn't get enough fiber in for the day, then I will eat a bunch of fiber and try to make up for it. If I don't get enough protein in, I will do something to make up for the protein. Or maybe I will cook some form of meat, usually about 3 to 4 ounces of meat I have. And so that's going to come in the form of chicken. It's pork. It's flank steak. I've been getting flank steaks as compared to steaks because they're a little less fatty than the ribeye steaks. And for whatever reason, and maybe it's just typical, whenever I ate any fattier steaks, my blood sugar would spike, but on the flank steaks, they didn't. So I switched over to that. But let's say I had a perfect day where I got in all my protein and all my fiber and everything's great with the day. Then I usually have some sort of, usually Trader Joe's is my go-to place where I go grocery shopping. They have some good spring rolls that come in at about 6 grams of protein. Maybe I'll make a healthy lasagna, or I'll make some sort of egg or chicken or some sort of taco burrito type of thing. But I just fix whatever was wrong with my day during the dinner time. It's easy enough to get protein when you're trying to get protein. Obviously, there are nuts and there's all sorts of ways to get protein if you need to, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But fiber is the one thing that when 9 times out of 10 I look at the end of the day, I'm short on fiber. So there are zero net carb tortillas. They're little small ones, and they come in at 7 grams of fiber and 2 grams of proteins. The bigger ones are called Carb Balance, and they are at 17 grams of fiber and 6 grams of protein. They do a lot of work with sort of modified wheat starch and then plant starch. A lot of times, if you take the starch that's inside of almost any plant, you can make these pretty tasty, typically bread type things, and turn them into high fiber. So they've really come a long way. And then the other thing that I do, which I mention a lot, is Nature's Own Keto Soft White bread. It has 9 grams of fiber per slice and 6 grams of protein. So you make a cheese sandwich out of it, you're getting right there 18 grams of fiber and probably another 18 grams of protein. So it's a very helpful thing. And the other part of it too is that if I run into fiber troubles, I can have that avocado smash, which comes in at about 4 grams of fiber. I can have an apple, which is about 3.5 grams of fiber, or a pear, which is at 5. And worst comes to worst, if I'm still at the end of my day and I did not get enough fiber in, Fiber Care gummies come in at about 2 grams of fiber per gummy, and I think they're 5 calories, and I can usually make up whatever it is I'm missing. So that's primarily how I get in fiber if I need to. The nice thing in general about the fruit, the Fiber Care gummies, and the tortillas from Mission is that they're easy to pack. So if I were traveling for work, if I go camping, they're easy enough to bring with me. I still was a little short when I went camping the last time, but those 3 items saved my bacon when I was camping because I was able to get at least a decent amount of fiber in. For protein, I do a couple of different things. Is that first of all, there's what's called the Power Crunch wafer bars. Those are 14 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber, which is not much, and about 220 calories. They are very crumbly, which means you can't eat them at somebody's house or in your car. There are so many other protein bars out there in the world that are very high in protein that you probably can find something that you like. I just haven't found a lot of bars that I really enjoy But if you found a bar that you really like, go ahead and let me know in the chat about what types of bars or shakes you like to have. I'd love to hear more about them. But so far, I've not found too many bars that I like in general, except for these Power Crunch wafers. But then I have these protein shakes from Owen. And reason I went to Owen is because some of the other protein shakes made my stomach upset. And some people say that it's the kind of protein that they use that people do get upset stomachs. And the nutritionist I went and saw, because my doctor sent me to her, suggested Owen has very gentle on the stomach. I have one style of it that is 20 grams of protein, 170 calories, and about 5 grams of fiber. There's another bottle of the same Owen brand with 32 grams of protein, 3 grams of fiber, and about 200 calories. So those are nice because they don't need to be refrigerated. I can just pack them up and throw them in a bag, bring them with me. And so I had some of those with me when I went and spoke at that college a few months ago. It's a quick, easy way to ensure that you're going to get enough protein. But I also have one of those Ninja brand blenders, and you can at Hy-Vee get these fruit veggie packs that are for smoothies. It says smoothies right on them. Kirkland at Costco has them too. And also, you can find them at most grocery stores. I think even Trader Joe's has one variety of packs of these. The fruit veggie pack comes to about 75 calories. One of the packs from Hy-Vee makes 2 shakes. And then I put chia seeds and flax in there, which gives you more protein and fiber. I put a collagen protein powder in there as well. The whole thing comes to about 235 calories, 14 grams of protein, and 8 grams of fiber. The nice thing about this is that, first of all, these fruits and vegetables are frozen. So when you put in the water and you put in the powder and everything else, it comes out chilly. It makes almost like a nice ice cream replacement. It's a nice thing to have on a hot day. So I've enjoyed making those. When I don't feel like having a pre-made protein shake, I can have one of these, and it's sort of, like I said, a treat there. But sometimes I feel like having a snack as well. And so I have either the Skinny Pop popcorn. Funny thing is that I've found having pickles. I like Clausen pickles because Clausen pickles are always refrigerated, so they're crunchy. They have a snap to them. And so if you feel like having that crunchy potato chip feel for about 40 calories, you can have one of these Clausen pickles. You get the little mini dill pickles. They're salty, they crunch, and so it's a nice snack to have. Sometimes I also even just have some Rolos. I have a little bag of Rolos here. And the nice thing about with Moujaro is that I couldn't have a bag of Rolos in the house. I would just eat it. Each Rolo has 28 calories in them. So if I'm at the end of the day and I have a little bit of extra calories in there, maybe I'm only sitting there eating 600 calories so far, I have a couple Rolos as a treat for myself. But that is the gist of what I eat during the day. I would love to hear what you eat during the day. So please put a comment in the chat and let me know what it is you like to eat when you're trying to stick to healthy eating in Moujaro. And like I said, I feel like it's been successful to me. I've increased my muscle mass by 4 pounds. I've increased my bone mass by almost a pound. And I'm not having a lot of the health problems, digestive problems a lot of people get when they're on this drug. Some people don't change their diets at all. Some people still eat what they used to eat, or some people decide, because this drug really could let you starve yourself if you wanted to do that. I'm not doing that. I've been watching some different interview shows, which we'll talk about in the future, where people are like, oh, Moujaro and Ozempic, that's just about starving yourself. I'm not starving myself. I'm practically eating the same number of calories I was before, when my weight loss was really doing nothing. And now I get to go to the doctor tomorrow and say, look at what this drug did. And it's stunning how much my weight has gone down. I used to have sleep breathing problems. I have one of the withing bed things I mentioned in the past. And I would be in the yellow most of the time, sometimes a little bit in the red. And since I've been on Moujaro and I've been losing weight, my breathing problems are practically nothing now. It just dropped on the charts. In all stats, cholesterol, blood sugar, all the other metrics, it's been great. And this has been a big step in me getting healthy again. And I look towards next year, where I think at the end of the year, I'll be at my goal weight. It's going to be a whole new adventure for me, and something, like I said, I haven't been since I'm 8 years old. I appreciate you listening. If you have any comments that you'd like to say to me or how you're eating and let me know, I would love to hear what it is you eat, what it is you do in order to get the fiber, the protein, or keep healthy in your diet, whether you're on Moujaro or not. Please remember that you can always email me at jill@startwithsmallsteps.com. Again, I'd love to hear from you. If you don't want to post it in the comments online, I'm happy to hear your comments privately. And remember that I have 4 podcasts. A Better Life in Small Steps.com is the home of all my podcasts. I'd be thrilled if you wanted to listen to any of those, or I'm planning on bringing more of them to YouTube. I'm getting used to this. I'm trying to learn this a little bit better. Please have a wonderful week. And again, let me know what it is you're doing or what your experience with your diet or Moujaro or any GLP is. Thanks so much. Have a great week.